Welcome back to Dawn of Defiance with Dark Wolf Studios. Today we continue the adventure in the Trader's Gambit. First, the music for this session is provided as always by Tabletop Audio. Please check them out at tabletopaudio.com or on their Patreon. The maps for this session are provided by Episodic Maps. The ship tokens and deck plans are provided by Droid Cartographer. As usual, the links are all found in the description below. Now on to the action. Last we saw our hero Mikal. He had received medical treatment on Alderaan and spoken with Senator Bail Organa. He received multiple gifts from the Senator, including a ship and a droid, and Maya was assigned to work alongside him for the time being. Senator Organa asked Mikal to find out what happened to Admiral Gilder Varth and to rescue him from an imperial prison on Felucia. Now Mikal and Maya find themselves on the trip to Felucia. So just as a reminder here, we got Alderaan in the blue circle where we are at. All the way over here is Felucia, quite a ways across the galaxy. It's going to take Mikal and Maya approximately 24 hours to get over there. During that time, they're going to get to know each other a little bit better. So Mikal is first going to ask Maya why she accepted the assignment to work with him. And Maya, thinking about it, she says that she remembers a little bit of what it was like before the Empire took over, and she wants to bring that back. And she feels that Senator Organa is the best possible person to help bring it back, and that if he's willing to work towards it, then she's willing to work with him. She looks at Mikal. Where have you been? How did you survive? Mikal is gonna shake his head. No, I don't want to talk about that. It's too fresh, too recent. What do you know about Felucia? Maya responds that she knows that there's the hidden imperial facility deep in the Felucian jungle, and that the Alderaanian security agent that they rescued on Brental actually was the one who discovered its location, and that she had plotted the nav computer to bring them out just on that side of the planet to try and bring them in as quickly as possible. She also shares with Mikal that it's a fairly light garrison there on Felucia, primarily based around protecting the small prison facility and the few cities that are there. After several hours, 24 hours to be exact, where during that time they're able to rest and recover and prepare for the journey ahead. During that time, Mikal is going to practice some of his regimens that he picked up this last time. He is going to... Let's see, what did we pick up last time? That is the question. I think it's in the notes. Alright, he picked up Quiet the Mind, Eyes of the Force, and Sparring Practice. Sparring practice or Quiet the Mind. I think he's going to use Quiet the Mind. official rules for that. That way I'm not just making it up as we go. This rule is found in the Jedi Training Academy Training Manual on page 11, in case you're curious on where this is found. So it takes him an hour. You make a use the force check, and depending on what it does, I'm able to add the far-seeing power to my force suite, depending on what it does. So let's find out how he does that. Use the force check. He rolls a total of 13, which barely makes the first DC. The rules state that he meditates, but his mind is still clouded by external stimuli, which makes sense given everything that has happened since Order 66 occurred several months ago, the struggle to survive, and then everything on Bryn Tall. So he does add one use of the far-seeing power to his force suite, but once it's used, he cannot regain it. Have that bonus for the next 24 hours, I believe, is what that does. Yep. Alright. As the blue tunnel of hyperspace fades away and the pinpoints of stars fill the windows of the cockpit, you get a brief glimpse of the planet Felucia hanging beneath the ship. Almost instantly, all eyes are drawn to the dagger-shaped starship looming ahead of them, an Imperial Star Destroyer. Maya, who's in the captain's seat at the moment, yells out, "Hold on, we're in for a bumpy ride." And with that, she slams the control stick forward, sending the ship tumbling rapidly into the atmosphere of the planet. As the ship passes through the thin cloud layer, we get a good look of the fungal swamps and jungles of Felucia, where towering mushrooms reach into the air like skyscrapers. It would be beautiful if it wasn't rushing at us so quickly. Get our imagery up here. Eventually, the ship pulls out of its dive, a move accompanied by the sounds of metal shearing from somewhere at the rear of the ship. It lurches, nearly throwing everyone to the ground, and dips sickeningly towards the fungal canopy. Another massive bump jostles the ship before Maya is able to bring the vessel to a screeching halt deep in the mushroom jungles. Are you okay, Maya? Yeah. She's sitting there using the controls. Looks like we're not going to be taking off anytime soon. We all work on getting the ship repaired, but you may have to make your way towards the prison. We're not too far. We're only about a day or so trek to the prison facility. I'll work on the ship. If you go on foot, that way you can get there without being noticed, and I'll get everything prepared here so that I can come pick you up when you're ready. Although Mikal nods. Alright, I'm going to take enough supplies for a week's journey. Hopefully that I'm able to do that pretty quickly. Mikal's first steps into the soil of Felucia make it clear that this planet is truly alive. Let's see here. Massive mushrooms tower overhead, their overhanging edges creating a canopy that blocks out much of the planet's sunlight. Every step on Felucian soil turns up insects and other fungi just beneath the surface. The noise of the jungle is loud and alien, full of sounds of 100 insects and animals moving through the mushroom swamps, all part of a living and vibrant ecosystem. Alright. This is one of those points in the game where I have to kind of step out of the role-playing aspect and kind of take a little bit more of the reins here. But before we do that, is there anything unusual about their crash site? Yes, but let's see. Yes, but maybe there's other ships that are crashed nearby. Yeah, I like that. So it's not unusual for ships to crash in this part of the jungle. He is going to look over the ships, see if there's anything of value in the ships, and he'll let Maya know that they're nearby, so that she can try and use them for scraps and parts. That could be useful later on. One of the things that he finds, does he find anything? That is the question. No, he does not. He does not find anything of value, at least to him, in those ships. Alright. Alright, so now at this point he is going to start making progress towards the Imperial prison. This requires survival checks to stay on course and avoid hazards. And from the GM's perspective, it's going to take at least 12 hours of successful progress from the ship to the facility. We have to make a survival check each hour. Success indicating that we make progress. Failure means no progress. If I fail it by 5 or more, there's a hazard that can occur. So let's see here. Go ahead and make our first roll. Not particularly good. 18, that does help us move forward. That's not too bad. That could be a lot worse. So let's see here. So we've got our first hour. He's able to make progress. Let's see here. Keep rolling, see what we can get. 15. Also keeps us moving forward. That's another hour of progress. Remember, our DC is a 15. Ooh. Alright, so we failed our first survival roll. So he's going to encounter some form of hazard. The text gives 4 different hazards. We're going to label them 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we will just roll a d4. See what that does. I'll have to post this up later, but the different options are that he comes across an acid pool, an exploding fungus bloom, razor mushrooms, or a sinkhole. So let's actually make that into a rollable table really quick. Alright, so sinkhole. Actually, let's go ahead and just copy that text out entirely. Make things a little bit easier for us. So there's our razor mushroom. Our next one is the exploding fungus bloom. And one more is our acid pool. Alright, let's find out what we get. The acid pool. Alright. So acid pools are dangerous hazards on Felucia because they resemble pools of standing water. Each pool can be detected with a successful DC 10 perception check. Any hero who fails this perception check steps in the pool of acid, taking 1d6 points of acid damage, and can continue to take damage until I wash it off with water. Hopefully, let's see, 10 exactly. So Mikal, as he's making his way through the jungle, he can tell that he's gotten himself a little bit lost. He hasn't quite... he feels like he's not making progress. At the very last second, as he's about to enter this pool of water, he recognizes that it's not just a pool of water, that it's actually a pool of acid, by the fact that there's no plants growing anywhere near it. Alright, let's see. Alright, that's our 3rd hour of progress. Moving forward. So far, so good. There's another one that's 4 hours. Ooh. 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 That is a natural 1. That is not good at all. Let's go ahead and open up our hazards again, and we'll roll. See what that gives us. Another acid pool. Alright. Does he notice it this time? He does not. This time as Mikal steps forward, He doesn't see the pool due to the underbrush, and he steps straight into the pool, taking 1d6 damage. So 2 points of damage for him. He's got 31 hit points remaining right now. And he's going to take some of the water from his survival kit and wash it off. Try and get that off of him so it doesn't continue to hurt him. Alright. At this point, he's going to stop and take a breather, try and get his thoughts back to where he needs to be. And let's see. I think he's going to use the Force a little bit more. He is going to search his feelings to know whether or not he is moving in the right direction. If continuing in this manner is going to be productive or not. It's a 21. He feels that he's going in the right way and that something is going to happen soon to help him. Is there anything that occurs while he's doing this? I can spell. Yes, and that's our second intervention point. Alright. At this point, he is... Let's see. He's going to come across an encounter. Let's see where we are at. So there's... He realizes that nearby there's some water. It's a swampy area with some small islands of solid ground. The cacophony of noise created by the insects and other animals makes it nearly impossible to hear the splash of his footsteps through the Felucian swamp. The open area he walks into resembles a large, shallow pool of water with narrow islands raising out of the water, looking like stepping stones that are slightly too far apart to jump across. A faint mist hangs over the swampy ground, drifting over the still pool of water. Alright, so he is going to move his way into this swamp. Hopefully the map loads. Where's our map? Let's reload. Map disappeared. That is unusual. I'm not used to Foundry doing things like this. This is kind of weird. Let's see maps. There we go. As he enters this area, he is going to... Does he notice anything unusual about this area? No. And he's not really paying attention. He's trying to figure out where he needs to go to keep moving towards the Imperial facility. So he is just going to start moving through the area. So he's going to continue to move forward. These Felucian scouts, let's have them make a perception or stealth check. At 19, definitely enough to remain hidden. Alright. So, I'm going to borrow a little bit from 5th edition. And his passive perception would be an 18-ish. Not really. Let's give him a perception check as he's moving through. Oh, so he does see them. So he is looking around and he notices all three of the Felucians. He kind of ignores them for the moment. He's not trying to avoid them. He doesn't really want to fight anyone. Do they attack him? See if this changes anything now that he's noticed them. No, and yeah, at this point, I think someone else is going to approach at this point. Since they're not fighting, they're just observing. A voice is going to ring out. Stop where you are. What brings you to this jungle? And Mikal is going to turn, pull his lightsaber. He's not going to ignite it, but he's going to have it ready as a gentleman approaches from the north. Who are you? Mikal is going to call out to him. My name is Vasas Mandrake. What are you doing here? I'm hoping to make my way to the Imperial Center, trying to get to the Imperial prison. There's someone I'm trying to rescue there. And he looks at them. So you're no friends of the Empire, I take it. Let's see. Is he perceptive enough to notice the lightsaber? Yes, he does. As he approaches, he looks at him a little bit closer. Ha! No wonder you are no friend of the Empire with that lightsaber. Come, let me You're not too far from the village. Let me take you there. Uh, we may be able to help you in making your way to this imperial facility. And that is where we are going to end this week's episode. I hope you enjoyed it. We've got a lot done. Hopefully, there's much more to come. And we'll find out next time what happens in this Felucian village and how well Mikal is received there. As always, the links for all the maps and the music are available in the description below. Check them out. I highly encourage it. Also, check me out on Patreon. I've started posting custom stat blocks to go along with the adventure here. Please like and subscribe and let me know in the comments below or on my Patreon what you think. I'm happy to hear your thoughts. May the Force be with you.